Welcome to the tier list. So, without further ado, we are going to rate every legend based off their abilities, their support, how they fit within the team, and also how sexy they are, really.
That's going to be the tiebreaker.
And I'm joined by Noodle Daddy and Kazu Cam.
What up?
So our first on the list is Astra. I'll be honest, I don't play her very much.
Got to target a star.
I only have this account because I wanted to try her out. It's definitely a misplay. So what is Astra, like her character description? She smokes.
She's
like
supposed to be a controller.
Okay, she's controller. So she's definitely low on the control list. It's gotta be, right?
It's pretty strong. Her ult's pretty strong, dude.
Yeah, how
I
often
think
have you
she
used
has
her
like
ult?
a lot of... I'd never play her, but I think she has like a lot of potential.
The only downside to her is just it takes a long time to set up.
I mean, I'll be honest, her ult looks really cool. When you're in the Astra form, you can see the whole map. I mean, you can place your smokes wherever you want them.
I think that's the reason why I don't play her that often, even though she has so much utility.
Right.
Because you have to place down your smokes, so if you guys go to a different site, you gotta grab them. And usually, like, the enemy, if they're pretty good, they'll prepare for it. So if they see you placing smokes, they'll come through your team and come to rotate.
Blocking vision. Taking that back.
Yeah, I mean, it's really circumstantial for sure. Whenever you put her smokes down, you have to know where the enemy's at. And to even get them to get the suck, they got to be close to it, and everybody avoids it because they can see it.
Yeah. But on Spike, that suck is so good. Because it gives them, if it hits someone, they're vulnerable. They take extra damage, I think.
And the concussion too. Oh my gosh, the stun.
Yeah, that ult, I mean, it's basically just like Neon's wall or... Yeah, it's
I
like,
mean, it's bulletproof and soundproof if you're further away.
Definitely potential there.
You can literally plant the spike on the opposite side.
Yeah, that's true. It does stop people from pushing sometimes. But it's not like... I mean, compared to others, I would definitely choose someone before her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would too. I have her unlocked, I just never play her.
Yeah,
So,
not my favorite controller.
I'm definitely placing her in the C category.
So would C be below average? So B would be average, right?
B would just be like right above average, I feel like, and then C is average and D is dog shit.
Okay. I would also agree. I would put her in C.
Yeah. All right. What do you think, Cam?
As much as I like her utils and stuff, it's just like the setup time is not ideal. Because you just gotta go in astral form just to do everything. I feel like the moment you do that, just the timing wise,
You did.
you get totally. Yep.
Yeah.
I think she's actually a D tier.
D tier. Damn.
Damn.
Because
That's
not
our
my
Starting off
personal
favorite
opinion.
strong, dude.
Yeah,
I
just,
see a lot of like pros run her. It's just hard if you don't play her that often.
Right. I mean, this isn't based off the pros. This is based off of our bronze ass.
unranked in the season as.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she has a lot of potentials, but I feel like all of her plays could be limited too. It's just like you have to trust your team
Yeah.
in order to play her.
All right. Breach. Boys on breach.
Switch over.
So I guess we can go through his abilities too.
Is he a controller as well, or is he initiator? Initiator, right?
You tell me,
I
bro.
think
You
it's
used to main
initiator.
him.
Yeah, when he had 3 flashes, now that he has 2, not so much.
What? That's what did it for you? Not having 3 flashes? Oh,
3
man.
flashes was so OP.
Dude,
you can
his
flash your teammates into the site, and then save one for, you know, whenever they push.
his whole utility, I mean, is just used all together. It feels like it's like when you get hit by breach, you might as well just take your hands off the keyboard and mouse.
The concuss is kind of ass.
Why did they nerf it?
No, it just does nothing. It makes your screen a little bit blurry, but you can still hit your shots.
Yeah, I mean I feel like that's enough though, just to throw them off their game a bit.
I don't know. I feel like I've concussed people, and they've been able to kill me.
All right, let's start with the aftershock.
Yeah, you're right. Initiator.
Okay.
So right away, how much damage does this do?
Blinding.
Oh, that's the blind. Aftershock. Oh, it doesn't even reach him. Can I hit him right away with it? Interesting.
What do you mean?
His first ability, C. Obviously, you got different keybinds than me, but we'll start from left to right. So his aftershock ability does heavy damage to anyone caught in its area. So I guess I'll never know how much damage it does to this guy. Same thing with his blind. I mean,
Flash out.
yeah, dude, that blind is long enough to make something happen with it, which is already really good in my opinion. And then fault line, hold fire to increase the distance, release to let quake, concussion.
Concussing. Clearing out. Blinding.
Yeah, I mean, using all of his abilities all at once, dude, just feels like you get hit by a flashbang in real life. That
I
player's
feel like,
monitor is off at that point.
yeah. I like how he can shoot it through walls. I think, like, especially during the start of Valo, he was definitely slept on.
Yeah,
But if you have a coordinated team, especially in pro play, and you flash through your teammates, you can flash from so far away.
right.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy for your teammates to avoid it if you don't blind them.
Right. And then let's talk about his ult, dude. This clears the site really well.
Yeah, it's fat.
It sends them, they're concussed longer. I mean, they're just out of the game if you roll up on them and they're concussed, for the most part. All right, to Breach's rating.
I was gonna go B for him.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. I think he's a really good character. I think he's above average. I think it all depends on how you play him, obviously. But I think his utility is really important, and he's really good to have on the team. I rarely see breaches on the team.
Personally, I'm gonna put him C.
Oh
Again,
shit!
those, 3 flashes were much needed. I understand why they took it
That's
away.
what
'Cause
it.
was
That's
some-
what it boils down to.
It really, it really is. I understand why they took it away, because there's so many, you know, characters with flashes, and A lot of people were complaining about that. But I did one placement game for comp like 2 days ago. For some reason, I decided to play Breach, even
Oh,
though I
shit.
haven't touched him at all.
Yeah.
I got clapped, so I'm gonna put him C.
He still hold a vendetta against him. All right. All right. All right. B and C. All right. We're off to Brimstone.
Didn't this man have 2 stem beacons?
Yeah, and they were
Oh.
reworked.
Damn.
Dang.
I'll be honest, it took me till now to even understand what the stim beacon is, and I'm still confused. I mean, you just shoot faster, right?
Shoot faster and then move faster.
Okay. So this is my spray. And then after
beacon
stim. I mean, I can notice a little difference, but not all that much. Okay, stim.
Molly.
It's good for the team most of the time. The Molotov.
Molly.
I'll be honest,
No.
I don't think I've ever like lined up a good Molotov with him, but the clips I've seen of him using the Molotov and just landing on spike when someone's defusing are pretty god tier.
Molly.
I think for compared to like all the rest of the controller players, or controller class, he's probably my favorite.
Okay,
His smokes are super easy to place.
I agree with
and
that.
They last the longest.
His
And that ult,
smoke ability
Fully
is
smoked.
pretty easy to use. Other than in the gun range, my smokes went on the roof, but
oh. You know, there's actually a trick to hit all your mollies.
what's that?
Open up
you,
the sky.
Look up into the sky and place a smoke down. Aim your molly at the middle of the smoke where it originated from the sky. Shoot it,
Smoke's down.
and it'll land exactly where the smoke is.
I'm gonna try that.
Molly.
If I understand what you're talking about. Yeah, this is probably not the best place to do this. I'm gonna try it
Kind of
over
hard
here.
because the sky is covered.
So look up in the sky.
Launching smoke.
Throw down a smoke.
Yeah.
Where you see the smoke originate from, you'll see like a big circle in the sky. Aim at the center of that circle and shoot your molly at it. And it'll land inside your smoke.
I'm so confused.
Oh, I got what you mean.
Launching smoke.
I don't see the circle in the sky.
Sky. You gotta shoot the smoke.
Molly.
I believe you. I just incompetent.
I
Anyway,
think it's easier on a custom map, but I saw it on YouTube.
send the link next time. Alright, we move on to his ult. His ult is as simple to use as his smoke. Clear sights and protects the fuck out of spike. I mean, anybody that stands on spike, they're fucked.
Open up the sky.
Stops
only
people
that,
from
but it clears
defusing.
Yeah, it clears out hookahs and towers.
Right, yeah. As a control character, I mean, this dude is definitely controlling where the enemy team's going and then pushing his team in. So, to his rating.
I would put him A for me. Because
A.
he's really the only smoke character I play. I like how you can rotate fast with him with his stim. And just deny an entire area with the molly and ult. And he's super easy to play.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. As far as for me, just I still think he's like one of the best controllers out there, and I feel like any pro player would definitely agree The fact
Yeah.
is, like, if you don't have a brimstone, you're not gonna win. I think he's an S tier for me.
Damn, son. I am gonna agree. I think that he's in A tier. I think he clear sights really well. I think he's important to have on the team, and I agree with what you said. I mean, every pro team is gonna run somebody with smokes, and Brimstone's that man. He's that guy, pal. Enough said about that. But on another note, I mean, his voice actor is iconic.
That'd be true.
So to Chamber we go. I'll be honest, I have no gameplay with Chamber whatsoever. So reading his abilities is a must. So his trademark, he place a trap that scans enemies. So invisible to enemies comes in the range. The trap counts down and destabilizes the terrain around them, creating a lingering field that slows players caught. Traps can be picked up to redeploy. I'm gonna have to try this.
That's a good spot.
Okay. It's gonna fire at this thing, or?
It doesn't work on the bots.
Oh, really? That's annoying.
Shoot your ult. It does the
They
same
are
thing.
so
It leaves that
dead.
like slow zone on the ground.
My ult is the sniper.
Yeah. Yeah, but it leaves like a circle when you kill someone.
Okay.
The trap basically does the same thing. It leaves a circle.
Gotcha. Alright, we'll go right to his Q. It's the pistol. So it's basically like having the ADS wingman. Or what's the revolver called? Sheriff. It's like having a sheriff with ADS on it. It's looking like 2 body shots, kill a bot, 1 headshot. Not a bad util to have on, especially on pistol round. All right, so it's teleport. I'd say it's similar to Phoenix's, but you can definitely, yeah. Phoenix has his ult. You know what I'm talking about? Where he gets an extra life, basically.
Oh.
Run back his ult? Okay.
Right, so
I feel like Phoenix would be a little better though, because if you die, your ult, you stay alive.
yeah, I mean that's true, but you can definitely get a frag, or if you're getting damaged, you just call that back and you're in safety, depending on where your teleport is. And then his ult is basically an op, right? And then it just leaves spots that slow enemies. But yeah, other than that, I don't have much to say about him. I mean, I've watched you play as him, and whenever you do, you frag out. And I don't know if that's just because you fucking use his util to the max, or you're just that man.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Alright.
I mean, I think he's also a control player.
Interesting.
He's supposed to like lock down an area. So it's kind of like nice to put his trap down to watch your back, and then put your telly somewhere like they don't expect. So you can play an off angle, and once they walk around the corner, bop one, and then teleport away, and wait for your team to rotate.
He's a sentinel.
Is he really?
Yeah. He's like Cypher.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, Cypher. Because I think the whole point of him was to like hold down a site so people can't push.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I'm gonna put him in B tier, just because I don't have a lot of gameplay with him. I do see him on my team every so often, and I mean his util really doesn't help the team all that much. He's just kind of somebody. I didn't think he was a sentinel. I thought he was like fragger or whatever they call him.
Initiator.
Yeah.
Initiator. Yeah.
Or duelist.
But yeah, he definitely drippy. Best dressed in the lineup.
I would also put him in. Did you say B tier?
I put him in B tier.
Yeah, I would put him in B tier. I do frag out pretty well with him. Like most of my high kill games are with Chamber, but I feel like the fact that you have to be close to his trip to activate it kind of sucks. So you can't like walk away from it and still have it shoot someone.
Yeah.
And his recharge ability for the teleport is kind of slow. If it was a little bit faster, I would put him in A tier, but for now he's staying in B.
I 100% agree. I feel like a lot of people use them for fragging versus just what like a sentinel character would be.
Yeah.
Just holding it out of sight or like watching the flank or something like that.
Yeah, I understand why they nerfed him so hard, but I think they went a little too hard.
B tier it is. And that moves us on to Cypher. All right. Cypher is a what?
Sentinel.
He is a sentinel. Basically stops them from coming in or out of an area. Is C, the tripwire, really good for people that decide to flank and get stopped in their tracks. It stops them from coming through that door silently. I mean, you can just shoot it if you see it, but if you don't and you're caught in it and they see you, lights out. His Q is basically a smoke that he can pawn off whenever. I didn't read the description of it, but if anybody goes in it, what happens? An audio cue?
Yep. It lets people know who's walking inside the smoke or not.
Right. And then his camera. His camera, I think, is, hands down his best ability. You're able to put it around corners. You're able to just put it in your spawn wherever the fuck you want it, honestly.
Got you.
And it just gives you the recon that you need to watch everybody. It even
You can dart someone as well.
right, and that gives a location.
Tag.
Yeah, his camera is similar to Silva's bird, except the camera is like lasts longer.
Right. And you just put it in one space and move it around. And then his ult. His ult's pretty good if you find an enemy dead body and get up to it.
Give me a corpse.
I think it's beneficial definitely to use his ult whenever you can. Just to show where everybody's at. Let the team know.
Yeah.
Which helps out.
The fact that you can scan them 3 times with that and it only costs 5 orbs is insane.
Right.
Or is that 6? 6 orbs.
Yeah, 6 skill points or whatever you call it.
Alright. To his rating. For me, he's an A tier. And that's just from his camera. I think that he's important to the team. He fucking saves everybody's ass when anybody's rotating from behind or trying to flank. The tripwire alone and the camera and everything. I think he's... You said he's a sentinel?
He is, yeah.
I definitely feel like he can fit into almost every other category on here other than healer or support or whatever. But you can frag out with him. You can basically support the team, clear sights almost. But he's definitely A tier in my list. Plus he drippy. Whenever you guys want to share.
I would put him in A tier as well. I think if you combo his abilities together, so the cage and the tripwire, it's just game over because they can't see you, but you can see them through the cage. Just blast them.
Right.
And I think he's most valuable if you can keep him alive. If you die early, then you're a waste for your entire team.
Yeah.
Definitely more like defense focused because offensively he's kind of hard to play unless you lock down a site. But I think he's A tier, and he's probably the next agent that I'm gonna unlock.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Are you trying to take
Alright.
Cam's main from him?
I know.
Maybe.
I
You already
can't
got
let
harder
that
for
happen.
me.
Well, Cypher's like my main. Like, I love him to death. Like, I wouldn't choose any other agent besides him. But Noodle's right. Like, if I die early and fast, I just like all my utilities are wasted, which I feel like sucks. Similar to like Killjoys, it's like if you die, you're not benefiting your team at all.
Right. And I was gonna bring up Killjoy when we get to her, but me and you were definitely the Sentinels every round last night, and we were fucking top fragging, which was a great feeling.
It is a great feeling. But what sucks too though is Cypher only has a few maps he can actually shine on.
Gotcha.
I
So
feel
it's
like
circumstantial for sure.
yeah, because not only can people hear the trap wires if they go slow, they can also see it now because he got hella nerfed before. Because before you
Gotcha.
could only just hear them, and so you could guess. But now it's like you
Well,
can
I
see
feel like he
them
did
too.
also get kind of a buff recently too. You can put his trap wire further apart, so on some maps there are angles where you can put it so they can't shoot it. They have to walk into it.
Yeah, so I was just the best way is to use his traps or to force them to like full on peek out to shoot.
Yeah.
Like I don't know where you guys are at the range, but there's this gate wall kind of like where the eagle is. If you put it like right a little bit past that wall, it forces players to actually like go inside of it to shoot it.
No.
Cage triggered.
Those are like the best spots to do it. He's definitely someone that's like you have to have a huge IQ to play.
Oh, for sure. He has like
Gassing him the fuck up.
it's kind of like a rat play style, but that's the name of the game when you're a sentinel.
Cage triggered.
Yeah. But for me, as much as I love him, he's a B character for me.
What?
Interesting.
All that hype?
Right.
You put him in B?
I mean,
Cage
there's a lot
triggered.
of other sentinels that are like, I feel a lot
Cage triggered.
do a lot more work than him.
Interesting. I was not expecting that. Let's move on to Fade. So again, it's another champ that I have not played. So her abilities: Prowler. Equip a Prowler, fire to send the Prowler forward. Hold fire to steer the Prowler towards your crosshair. Prowler will chase down the first enemy or terror trail it sees and near sight the enemy on impact. I'll have to try that out.
Take hold.
Interesting. So the trail comes up right away, huh?
We'll catch them.
No.
Okay. And it drags him in? Interesting. Interesting. Second ability, Seize. Equip a knot, raw fear. Fire to throw. The knot drops down after a set time. Reuse to drop the knot early. The knot ruptures on impact, holding nearby enemies in place. Held enemies are deafened and decayed.
hold.
Interesting. Okay. And then her E is Haunt. Equip a Haunting Watcher, fire to throw. The Watcher drops down after a set time. Reuse to drop the Watcher early. The Watcher lashes out on impact, revealing enemies in its line of sight and creating terror trails to them. Enemies can destroy the Watcher.
Where are you? Marked 1.
Okay. It's pretty useful for throwing around corners or above walls and stuff.
Yeah.
And then her ult. Where's her ult on here? Her ult doesn't show up in the shop for me.
Press F1.
Oh, there we go. Equip the power of Nightmare itself. Fire to unleash a wave of unstoppable nightmare energy. Enemies caught in the wave are marked by terror trails, deafened, and decayed. So it's basically just like a spoof of Breach's ult.
I personally think it's more valuable because they're deafened. They can't hear you run up at all. And if you combo that with your Prowler, then it goes like super fast and they're blinded and deaf.
I'm gonna counter that argument with the shift key. I shift to walk everywhere I go usually, and I feel like that saves from deafen. In my opinion, I think deafen's pretty useless.
I don't know. Have you? I don't know, for me, like sometimes when I'm on site and I get ulted, you hear like weird footsteps. It's not just mute. They'll have fake footsteps around you, so you have no idea where they're coming from. So you're just trying to hold an angle and hope, you know, you get a kill before you die. But since it leaves a terror trail on the ground, they know exactly where you are. Even if you run away, it follows you. So I think that's kind of broken.
Right. Well, let's go to her rating. So, again, I haven't played her all that much. I've had her on my team multiple times. I've noticed she's useful in situations where you can see the trail of your enemies. So she's definitely beneficial to have on a team. As far as clearing sites, I feel like there's better out there. I also feel like her ult is just kind of useless when it's compared to breaches or anybody that has an ability that's not deafen. So for me, she's going on D.
Dang. I mean, I understand that, but I also feel like she's basically like a Sova, to be honest. Without Sova's ult, but I feel like she definitely has the ability to find out where enemies are. So it's like if you got ones that are holding corners, she's definitely there to like prevent you guys from just rushing in to dying to like a rat. But the one thing I hate about her utilities, you can shoot them all.
Yeah, that's kind of ass.
But as much as I like her, I think I put her as a C, if anything.
I would put her in A tier for me. I think the name of the game for her is information. So that Prowler, even if you don't blind someone, it'll chase them down and let you know exactly where they are. And then the Haunt, if you know the lineups, you can clear an entire site. And it's not like a Sova scan. You can see exactly where they are and where they're moving for the full duration of that ability. So I think that kind of info is really, I guess, much needed in this kind of game. So she's going to be A for me.
She's an A for me.
Hey,
Gotta
baby.
say, she definitely got that goth chick vibe to her. I'm digging that.
Goth mommy.
I thought that was the next bit.
What?
Oh, isn't the next bit we're supposed to write them? Number one waifus.
Oh shit, the list doesn't have Gecko, but we're gonna talk about him.
Oh.
Once it fucking changes characters. Damn, bro. What season are we on? Alright, you boys switched over?
Yep.
I am.
Alright, Gecko's the newest. And let's see. C ability is similar to Rage's, where you fire it and the grenade drops like a Viper utility. Basically doing damage where it's at.
Saw you, Mosh.
So it's good to throw on spike, around corners, doorways, shit like that. It kind of just like controls that area wherever it's thrown. Yeah. His Q, Wingman, my personal favorite. Send that boy to plant the fucking spike or defuse it. That's like the boom bot, but if the boom bot could do taxes for you.
It's definitely probably the best ability in this kit.
Hands down.
Up and away.
I think that
Someone's
his blind is fucking as good, if not better, than Reyna's.
I got you.
Doesn't blind your team. You can just send it out wherever you want. Honestly, easy, quick.
Somebody's there.
The only thing that you can't do is throw it through walls. So I guess that would make it a little less OP than the Lear. But he can also pick up his blind again,
Sana, sana.
which is interesting. And then his ult
Saw you, little homie.
is basically
Crash got a hit.
sending out somebody to do what Killjoy's ult does and just stun the motherfucker. And then inevitably twerk on them.
Another. Orale.
Yes.
One of the funniest clips I've seen of Valorant was the one I sent you, Ethan, of the Gecko using his ult and then twerking on the chick that was trying to get rid of Spike. Funniest shit ever.
That was really funny, huh? You know, KO can also twerk.
No, I did not know that.
There's a few agents on this game that could twerk.
Damn. I wonder what that does for your guys' rating on Gecko.
I was gonna bump him up at least one tier.
So, I guess there's an extra chamber on here for some fucking reason, and extra breach as well. I'm gonna use Chambers' avatar or picture for Gecko. For me, I love playing Gecko. Honestly, I think he's just top tier when it comes to util. His blind really sets the pace for where you're gonna push. His wingman, hands down the best ability in the game, if not. I can't think of anybody else's, but being able to plant and defuse a spike just saves you those seconds of looking at different corners or just even being on spike, which is fucking awesome to me. One of the things I hate about video games is doing chores, and defusing is a fucking chore. So for me, Gecko's A tier.
I would put him in A tier as well. Actually, no, let's bump it up to S tier.
Oh shit!
First S tier. I think his clutch ability is just insane. Having Wingman defuse and plant for you It's like having a sixth man on your team.
Whew! Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah, and the alt can't get better than twerking on him. So
Yeah.
S tier.
S tier. Wow.
I agree. As someone that's experienced getting pushed with the ult, it's a very scary thing, dude. I think the wingman, like, definitely in the future, I think they're gonna ban him for tournaments just because of how overpowered he is. Unless they nerf him. Because the fact that you can use the wingman for not only planting the spike, defusing the spike, but also just like going after people too. It's like Reyna's boombot. But
Raise.
the Reyna's Raises boombot, yeah. I think Gecko has like everything you need as a team. He has a flash. He has something that can prevent people from like defusing the spike. Mosh
Yeah.
pit.
You can even use it to like stop them from pushing a hallway.
Yep.
Yeah. So he has pretty much everything he needs to be like a sentinel and controller. And initiator as well. But the best part is his ult. That thing lasts forever. It's like 30 seconds of just pure fear. You're just like...
He's got 200 health.
Oh, it does. If you don't shoot it, you're pretty much... You're done. You can't outrun that thing.
You're definitely out for the round. So what do you place him?
Oh, he's definitely like one of the S tiers until they nerf him.
Oh my god. 2 S tiers. Alright, boys. On the Jet. Oh, wait. Harbor's up there. Never mind. On to Harbor. Alright. Right off the rip. Again, I have no idea how to play this guy. I don't have him unlocked. So his first ability, equip a wave of water. Fire to send the rolling forward and through walls. Reuse to stop the wave. Players hit are slowed. So basically, another character that can throw things through walls. His Q, equip a sphere of shielding water. Fire to throw. Alt fire to underhand throw. Upon impacting ground, spawn a destructible water shield that blocks bullets.
Shield going up.
Okay. So basically a bulletproof smoke. And then his High Tide. Equip a wall of water. Fire to send the water forward along the ground, holding to guide the water in the direction of your crosshair.
Water rising. Walls up.
So he's basically used to block visibility of people.
Yeah.
His ult is Reckoning. Equip the full power of your artifact. Fire to summon a geyser pool on the ground. Enemy players in the area are targeted by successive geyser strikes. Players caught within the strike are concussed.
Let's turn the tide.
Okay. So last night playing, I was basically trapped in the corner from a fucking Harbor ult.
Okay.
So I was kind of useless, but I was still able to hold angles. And basically my team just ended up clutching it. So I guess his ult is kind of alright in the sense that you can clear out an area, but honestly, I think it's a bit weaker than Breach's utility or Breach's ult in that regard.
I would have to agree with you. I think his ult definitely needs a buff. The stun isn't really that good, but the info it gives, because it like there's like a streak in the air to show you where the enemies are. That's pretty nice to give you info. But other than that, it definitely needs a buff.
Are you guys like actually practicing with the ults and stuff, like the abilities?
Yeah,
Like, are you
we're
guys going?
actually using them.
Oh, I meant like, are you like doing like practice spike rush or something like that?
No.
I don't know what you're asking.
Oh, you know, on practice mode, you can like practice defusing the spike and all that against bots and stuff.
Oh, no, I'm just in the firing
You have to
range.
go through the portal.
Yeah. I've been actually practicing. He is like the ult. The only thing I like about the ult is the fact that it tells you where, like, if there's people in the area, kind of with like their general direction. But I don't see him as a player that could like, if you are in a 1v5 situation, I don't see him as someone that's going to be able to win. Unless you can actually like land all your headshots with this guy. The only thing I like about this is like his wall is a little bit more flexible than Viper, and it's better than Phoenix's firewall. He has that shield that doesn't like this bulletproof shield, but his waves, they're like eh, and his ult's pretty much eh. So I feel like his ult's kind of a waste.
For me, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I kind of consider him a C tier.
I would also consider him as C tier. Again, I don't have any experience playing as him. I've definitely had you guys on my team fragging out with him. But again, I don't think, I think you could have fragged out with any other character playing as him. I don't see him really supporting the team all that much, other than, like, blocking the side of enemies. And maybe occasionally slowing them. Other than that, I mean, I feel like there are other champs that do his job a lot better. So for me, he's a C dog.
I would put him in B tier. I think he's really good at denying an area, blocking line of sight. Only reason he's not higher is because his ult's not really good, and really the rest of his kit is not really good for clutching. If you play with your team, it's really good, but solo, not really. I think he's gonna get a buff in the future, so B tier.
Hope to see it. All right, moving on to Jet, finally. So Jet's one of the OGs. Honestly, she was out during beta, and everybody that was anybody was getting fucking clips with her.
Yup.
So her first ability is the smoke.
Blocking sight.
Super easy to just throw.
Blocking sight.
Super quick. Allows for, you know, just shielding anybody's eyes wherever you want. Her Q, I think, is the only one that brings her to different angles. I mean, I don't think anybody else can get up in the air like that or stay in the air like that. So it kind of, I mean, her spray is like non-existent when she's up there, but I think that Q is kind of slept on just because you can get up on angles that people aren't expecting you to be at and then fall down on them or not take fall damage whatsoever. Her E is interesting. I've seen it used to be aggressive or defensive, which makes her mobility, like, I mean, top in the game.
Don't forget, you've also seen her dash and get popped.
Right. I did witness that last night of her dash being utilized in a negative way. So, and then her ult is something that is pretty hard to use if you're shit at aiming. This thing is fucking pinpoint accuracy. I mean, you really have to put it where your crosshair is, or you're not doing any fucking damage. And if it's not on their head, I mean, they're gonna fucking either one tap you or. But it's fucking quick to fire. She can pair it up with her moving, yeah. And whenever you hear "watch this," I shit myself a little bit. I'll be honest. Her right click on it will fuck them up too. Honestly, yeah, one of the better ults out there. Let's move to horror listing.
Oh, you guys know you can control her smokes, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
You gotta hold it down.
Yeah, you gotta hold the C down and you can go up and down with it, left, right.
What the fuck?
It's not something you, yeah, it's not something you
Oh,
can
I
jump
did
around.
not know you could do that. I mean, you got like a split second to do it.
Blocking sight.
Honestly, I don't really see the, I mean, yeah, you can get it further, but why not just throw it in your line of sight?
Well, you can just curve it.
Okay.
Like, I've seen some players use that. Like, they've pretty much, like, blocked entranceways just because they threw it at an angle.
I feel like they could have just gotten a different angle and threw it in their line of sight, but it's cool regardless. I don't think that moves her up or down a tier.
No, but it's also a good fact to know about her.
Right. So for me, she is B tier. Her mobility is fucking great. I don't think she really controls the site all that much without having to frag out. I think it's definitely circumstantial, her ult. You know, you really have to fucking be an aim champ to get anything done with it. And then her Q, I think, is one of the most slept on abilities. Being in an angle that people aren't used to like shooting at is something that's good, but anybody that can flick fast or expect a jet to be up on, I mean, completely negates that Q. Someone else go.
What did you place her at?
I put her on B.
B tier, eh? I am gonna put her on A tier. I'm not very good at her, but I feel like as I play the game more and as I get better, she could become one of my favorites. Remember the last time we played Valorant for like a week or two, it was like last year. I popped off as her, and it was like really satisfying, especially with the knives. And also, I think she's on almost every like pro team. She's pretty like high pick rate. So A's for me.
So I am actually agreeing with Noodle on this one. I think she's an A tier character. Very common to see a duelist as a duelist, and I feel like, I mean, unlike Chamber where he has like that stupid ult, which basically an op, and he can buy guns, I feel like she's mostly all about like accuracy and then like top fragging. But overall, I think if you're gonna have a duelist, you should have a Jet as your duelist. And for that, I feel like she's an A tier.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. Moving on. KO. Again, I have not played this guy. I've only witnessed him a slight amount of times in our Swift play games. So his Q Explosive fragment, fire to throw, all fire to lob. The fragment sticks to the floor and explodes multiple times, dealing near lethal damage at the center with explosion. Let's see what we do. Oh, that's the flash.
Grenade.
Oh shit. Okay.
Throwing charge.
Yeah, alright. His Q,
Flashbang.
just a blind that you can throw, which is interesting to me.
Flash.
I'm a bot, so I think it's probably got to be the easiest flash to use. And it's like similar to what everybody's used to in a first-person shooter, is throwing their flashbangs instead of just fucking throwing them around corners or...
That's more in line with like the classic CS flash.
Right. His E, equip a suppression blade, fire to throw, the blade sticks to the ground, hits the winds up in suppression anyone in the radius of the explosion.
Shutting them down.
So this ability
One
actually
suppressed.
really fascinates me because I think he's the only one that can stop people from using their abilities, which kind of like controls a site or just the game, really. You know, a Jet needs her movement to be good, and if she's suppressed, she ain't fucking moving. Killjoy needs her turret, and if she's suppressed, she can't fucking put her turret down. And whatnot. His ult is Null CMD. Instantly overload with polarized radiant energy that pulses from KO in a massive radius. Enemies hit with this pulse are suppressed for a short duration while overload. KO gains combat stim and can be restabilized if downed. So if he dies, he's fine? I don't understand.
Yeah, he can be rezzed.
Yeah,
Oh.
by
It's
anybody.
basically like knocking someone down.
Interesting. I did not know that.
And then, it's also funny. I don't know if they nerfed it. But KO's knife, if Raze does her ult, KO's knife comes in, it
Stops her ult. That's
Yeah,
pretty huge in my opinion.
I know.
Pretty big cock. I'm gonna put him in B tier. I think he's good at controlling sites. I think stopping utility is something that's slept on. He definitely has potential to be an A tier. I just haven't seen enough gameplay from him to put him up there. But yeah, I think he's a decent player to have on the team, and honestly I hope to unlock him after unlocking whoever I'm trying to unlock right now.
I would put him in A tier. I think he's good at initiating and also gaining info with that knife. Just throw it against the wall when the walls go down and see if they're on your side. If not, rotate. And I like the fact that he can silence and prevent people from using their abilities.
I have to say the same. He is definitely like A tier material. I feel like just the fact that he has all these utilities, like the flash, grenade, and his knife, I think those are just like the major key points. And then the fact that his ult literally suppresses you as well. I saw this funny clip about 2 KOs ulting, and they canceled each other out.
Wait,
Just
what? How does that
uninstalls
work?
the game.
Yeah, it just canceled both their ults out, and I was just like, it's just the most hilarious thing because it just became a knife or gunfight at that point.
I've actually never seen that interaction happen again.
Yeah, it was
Oh, let me
probably on a
tell you.
customs
Interesting.
game. A lot of shit is staged.
True.
It's true.
So
But if you ever see it, I think it's the most funniest thing to watch.
and you put him in what, A?
I did, eh?
A. Alright, on to the next one. We got Killjoy. Alright. Killjoy is one of my mains. I like playing her. As soon as she came out, I fucking knew I had to make another account to unlock her. Her fucking turret, super easy to use. I mean, put it down anywhere and it's just gonna fucking do a little bit of damage to someone. They either gotta shoot it or shoot you or get the fuck out of dodge. I think they nerfed her turret, but dude, there's nothing better than fucking, I mean, it's basic. It's just a little buddy that does aimbot for you. Doesn't fucking miss. Her alarm bot, I think I would put next to
Placing alarm bot.
Cypher's tripwire. Or I would say it's better in the sense that it alerts them and also explodes. So the only issue with that is you got to be within range of these abilities for them to work. And then her swamp grenade is
Bomb grenade out.
something similar to a lot of other champs, but definitely controls an area, definitely saves spike, definitely can be used to control what you want or just fucking kill a motherfucker. And then to her ult, lockdown. Basically, she can control a whole side. As soon as that fucking thing clocks down, everybody's fucking moving out. Or if they get stuck, it's Twerk City, baby.
Definitely the most, probably the coolest ult in the game.
Right. I think it's easier to use than a lot of people that have to put their ult on site, like Fade or Breach.
Yeah.
Recalling my bot.
But yeah, that's really all I have to say for her. She kind of speaks for herself. So for me, Killjoy is in A tier. I think she controls the site really well. She's like one of the best to have on defense. Her turret is also like notifies you wherever the fucking enemy is, where they're rotating from, and almost gives you like a free peek to shoot them in the head or do damage or whatever you do. And then her ult really just fucking icing on the cake. You get that, put it on site, everybody's moving. So she's an A.
I'm gonna have to match that and also put her in A. I think she's really good at locking down a site, especially on defense. On offense, if you guys take a site, she has 2 mollies, so if someone tries to defuse, you're fucked. You're gonna get 2 mollies on you and time's gonna run out. So A tier.
Cam.
I only played her a few times. I do like the fact that her swamp grenades are basically there to prevent you from defusing spike. Also like how it can be used to prevent you from pushing. She's definitely a great sentinel. But the thing though about Cypher is he doesn't need to be next to his gadgets, he can use them anywhere on the map. So I think Cypher's got that advantage on Killjoy as far as sentinels go. Because like, if Killjoy has to rotate, she has to recall everything, remove her setup, versus Cypher, I can just leave my wires, I can leave my camera, I can leave my smoke grenades, or my smokes, and I can even detonate those smokes anywhere on the map. But as far as grading Killjoy, I think she's just a little bit better than Cypher. So I'm gonna say she's an A.
A tier ahead of Cypher.
Just one tier ahead of Cypher.
Okay.
I think she dominates the A tier. Honestly, I think only thing stopping her from being an S tier is she's super circumstantial. It depends on what map you're playing. It depends what your team comp is. You know.
Yeah. And if you die early, you're
useless.
wasting money basically, because you have to set up all your abilities. If you die, then you just wasted all that money.
Right. And to argue with what you said about the tripwires and gadgets being used like wherever you want. I mean, a tripwire back in your spawn is going to be fucking useless if everybody's on B site. So it's like super circumstantial.
Yeah, that's true. But I'd argue about that though. Like, let's say the team rotates back to it, like they rotate to B site and then rotate back to A site. I mean, you're already gonna be set up, so you can prevent them from getting all the time they need to plant the spike, because your team knows that they rotated.
Yeah, again, it's all circumstantial.
Yeah, because like they don't even have to walk through it; they just have to shoot it, and they'll know where they're at.
Go ahead, Ethan.
I think the distance limitation for her abilities, it's definitely not the best, but pure DPS, that's what her kit is.
Yeah.
And that puts her at top of A.
Right. And don't forget that, I mean, she can recall all of those abilities and place them again.
True.
All right, moving on to
Oh my
Neon.
gosh. Apex Predator right there.
So I just unlocked Neon.
Coming through.
I like her walls. 2 energy lines forward on the ground that extend a short distance, or until they hit a surface. The line rises into walls of static electricity that block vision. For some reason, I thought that made you faster, but I was wrong. I definitely feel faster whenever I go through it.
Hyperspace.
Right, it's the fucking, what is it, the placebo effect. Her Q is basically a shock dart. I think it's a lot harder to use than a shock dart. I think there's only like a handful of times that I've done it.
Watch out!
But I think the shock dart actually does damage, and this just concusses, so I think it's worse than a shock dart. High gear is the one that really makes her stand out. Being able to just be fast is something I look for in almost every fucking game. You know, being able to just rotate from B to A faster than anybody else is, I don't know, I think it's a slept on ability.
Gotta go!
And then she's able to slide as well, which is kind of interesting and leaves potential for some nasty fucking clips. So I look forward to using her in the future for sure. Her ult is the Overdrive, which is a channel of power into a deadly lightning beam with high movement accuracy.
Here we go!
So basically it's like playing Winston from Overwatch.
Essentially.
Pretty easy to use, I feel like. I mean, again, you gotta have good accuracy and aim for the head. But again, I think it's on par with Jet's ult. So for me,
Almost out.
I think her mobility really makes her stand out. As far as support for the team, she's got one wall, and that really doesn't do anything. So she's basically, I have no idea what, I think she's an initiator. And she's definitely low on the B tier list for me.
I'm gonna actually put her in C tier. I think in like gold and below, she's like really good because you can rotate fast, and a lot of people can't hit their shots when you're running full speed. But for team comp wise, I don't think her abilities are that good. Her wall isn't the best wall. Her stun isn't the best. It's hard to use as well. I think she's really like a solo player, not a team player. So C.
I agree. I think she's a C as well. I feel like if you're gonna use someone that's fast, you should just use Jet. Her wall kind of sucks. It also hurts your teammate, just like Phoenix's. So you really do have to be careful with that. Because most of her abilities are just for herself, to be honest. It's not there for your whole team to push. It's just there for her to like get her picks, and then for her ego. It's more like ego picks. That's what I feel like Neon is.
She definitely got clip potential.
Yeah, I feel
Oh,
like
for
it's
sure.
just for the memes. That's what she
Exactly.
is. Just for the memes.
I've definitely seen neons in my lobby that fucking bottom frag like a motherfucker. I was trying to hit a clip. Oh, man. Alright. So you guys think C tier, I think B tier. Moving on. To Omen. I think Omen is another one of the OGs. I mean, he came out with release. I'll be honest, Omen is the next character that I'm going to unlock.
Oh baby.
So, to go through his abilities, Shroud Step. See its range indicator. Fire to begin a brief channel, then teleport to its location. Again, I'm a motherfucker that likes mobility. If this dude can get me up on a box without having to jump, you know I fucking like that shit. It's another angle that, again, nobody's expecting you to be at. The only issue with that is everybody sees where you're going if they see you. His Q, the blinding orb, fire to throw, briefly nearsighting and deafening all players it touches. This projectile can pass through walls. So again, another blind that can go through walls. I think that's pretty good. Again, y'all know how I feel about deafen. I think it's fucking stupid. So his cover, I think, is very similar to Astra's in a sense. I think it's a bit faster to use, but again, I think there is a skill difference in using smokes, and his is a bit less friendly to fuckers like me. And then his ult, again, another mobility thing, baby. Being able to teleport wherever the fuck you want. I literally had an Omen play against me, and I was looking at Spike on the ground, and he teleported onto Spike and canceled his teleport and was able to plant on Spike, or plant on site, which was really cool in a sense until he absolutely fucking shit the bed and died, and we diffused. So in a perfect world, he would have hit a clip, but he did not. To his rating. So again, Omen is what?
Oh, I was like, I'm gonna ask. Do you guys actually know how to use the smokes where it's like it doesn't fall down all the way? Cause I know there's a trick that's with the smokes that you can get feet picks.
Feet pics.
All right, bro. Save that for the rating of the waifus.
Waifus.
No, I'm serious. So like for angle
I know what
wise,
you're talking about.
yeah. So it's like you can see the enemies like where they're walking.
Yeah, so
So
it's
you
not it's not floating. They're just putting one way. So if you put it on an edge, the center of the smoke on an edge, it'll rest on there, and you'll be able to see their legs, and they can't see you. You can spray.
I think you guys are supporting my claim of the harder smoke to use. Skill diff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is a skill diff, but I also like his teleports and stuff. Cause dude, they make sound, right?
The teleports make
Yeah.
so where you start from, they can hear you, but they don't know where you end up.
They can see where you teleport, right? I mean, it
Yeah,
takes
I mean, it leaves a
time.
trail.
Right.
Or like, yeah. I definitely think he deserved the buff that he got. Faster teleport was definitely nice. I think his ability to get out of situations is really nice with that ult, rotate. It just makes sense why he's picked so often in pro play. And the smokes are also a plus. I would have to put him B tier, just because he's a little bit harder to play.
I think I'm going to put him low on the A tier. Just because, I mean, I think he's useful on the team. Blinding and smokes are always a necessity that every pro player needs. And just the fact that he can teleport makes him faster than every other character in the game.
No.
True. What the heck? I just got kicked out of the range for some reason. I would say he's kind of like my 8.
Shadows traveling.
He's your A tier what? Hello?
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what's happening to Valorant right now, but I feel like he's one of my A tier characters. I don't play him often, but I just see some really great plays. So he's definitely like a skill fit for me.
All right, moving on to Phoenix. All right. Well, I think Phoenix is the most easy and friendly player to play. His wall, super simple. Throw it down, block their vision. And the fact that it heals you is also just fucking chef's kiss, right? His Q is something that definitely shoved me in a locker at high school. Every time I fucking throw my Q, I know that I'm just not going to be able to see or play for at least 4 seconds. I'm not good at fucking blinding. I'll be honest right now.
Watch your eyes.
If there's a Phoenix on my team, I stay the fuck away from him because I know that I'm getting fucking blinded. His E, super basic, super easy to use. And the fact that it heals you again is just, I mean, you don't even fucking need a healer. And then his ult is definitely one of, if not the best in the game. Being able to have an extra fucking life and just peek a corner or go out and frag on someone, huge potential to get some clips. And I'm trying to hit a clip, baby. So to his rating, I'm gonna say he is A tier, right next to Killjoy and Brimstone. Again, he's a self healer. He can blind people on sight. He's initiator. As far as supporting the team, you can go without a Phoenix in most cases, but I personally enjoy playing him just because it's easy, simple, and straight to the point.
Phoenix is definitely fun to play. He's easy to frag out with. He's the only agent that flashes me the most. I like the fact that you can heal with him, but I think there's a reason why pro players don't play him that often. Especially with that flash, it's kind of obvious that you're around that corner, so people will just spray even before you start peeking. So I would put him in B.
That is a very good point. And plus, I feel like with Phoenixes, people kind of like know how his flashes work so well that it's just like they just turn around and then they re-peek just to get the head tap on you. I feel like his flashes are kind of predictable. I feel like pro players will still play him, but they don't play him as much as like all the other agents they could play. So I feel he is definitely like a B tier duelist because you're gonna get more Reynas than you would Phoenixes just because of how Reyna's flash kind of is more supportive than Phoenix's, where if he makes mistakes, he can cost the team the whole game.
No.
All right.
And plus, who hasn't got flashed by Phoenix before?
I think we're all a victim of Phoenix's flashes. I'll see you guys in therapy. To Raze. This one is a personal favorite. I started playing Raze as soon as the fucking beta dropped. I think I saw clips of her, and I was like, yeah, that's the fucking character I'm playing. She's got the OG classic first-person shooter grenade throw, right?
Grenade!
Yes.
But on top of that, she's got fucking nades that come out of her nade, which is chef's fucking kiss. Her boom bot is something I really enjoy using. It's the first, I mean it's the only utility I go out of my way to buy, really. So basically sending out somebody to clear an area or fucking frag out. I mean, it's just simple, easy to use, and it's similar to Wingman or Killjoy's turret, because if you don't shoot it, you're gonna be in trouble if it sees you. And then her Q, I think, is a slept on ability that also brings you up into different angles that people aren't used to shooting at, or can't track you on your movement flying through the fucking air. I saw a new tech that people are using with her, with one Q into ult and then another Q to descend to the ground. And I didn't think I could get fucking more amazed by this character again. Her fucking ult is super simple to use. Does a shit ton of damage to motherfuckers if they're close, and basically clears sights in a sense.
I think Raze is the only agent that hasn't been touched since release.
Oh, I'm almost certain they nerfed her damage.
For her, like all across, or just her nade?
All across.
Damn.
At least it feels like it. That nade was fucking S tier, and now it's definitely like B plus. Oh shit! I got kicked out of range.
Same.
Time limit.
Oh, should fucking let us do custom so we could like test the abilities out on each other. But alas, Valorant is a shit game.
Can't be dissing the game like that, man. We're just doing content on it.
Yeah. What are they gonna do? Ban me?
Man gets banned for like 2 hours.
I don't install after that, bro. Fuck Riot. I gotta get back into the range, but I'm going to go ahead and place Raze. Oh shit, my monitor. See, Raze is so fucking powerful, my monitor went down. Holy fuck. Valorant, chill the fuck out. You're fucking up everything. Oh my god, bro. Valorant really do be diff. I'm writing about Valorant in my note.
You gonna be rubber banding the entire night?
I don't know. Anyway, I'm putting Raze S tier. Super easy to use, super fun to use. Her mobility is slept on, and yeah, I think a fucking good Raze can make or break the fucking team. Yeah, she's different. She built different.
I would agree with you on that. I would also put her on S tier. I think she pumps out a lot of DPS, and her clips are definitely one of the most enjoyable parts of Valorant.
I actually have to agree for you all with all you guys. I think Raze is definitely an S tier. I think as far as having a duelist, it's either gonna be a Jet or a Raze, to be honest. Cause like the grenades, the ult, freaking a rocket launcher, she can shoot from far away too. I mean, there's not much she can do once you hear that. Once she says her ult,
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, let's find a
The
corner
fuck
to
out,
hide.
Oh fuck! Oh man, good memories with that ult. So we're all putting her in S tier.
Yeah.
All right.
What's that? Was it a gun game? Where just like we all get freaking results?
Results
Wait,
and
what?
results.
What's the game mode called? I think is it gun game?
Oh, you're talking about the one where you all get the
we
same
had the
gun.
bots.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's just like leveling it up. So it's like we start out with like grenades or something, and then we
Yeah, that's
move up to,
chaotic when you have her kit.
yeah, I think that's the most funnest thing ever. Just like these rocket launchers everywhere. It's just like you're dead.
All right, moving on. Reyna. Reyna is also somebody I really enjoy playing. I think her utility is fucking beautiful. Having a blind that doesn't blind the rest of the whole fucking team is something that needs to happen with every character, I think. She is able to throw her blind from behind the cover of walls. Super easy and simple to use, and they have to shoot it or they're blinded, which, I mean, the ability to shoot a blind is kind of stupid, but, you know, with everything that Reyna has, I mean, it makes sense.
I think it definitely makes sense since you can't blind your teammates. There has to be a trade-off.
Right. Being able to either heal yourself or go invisible for a few seconds and invincible is fucking amazing. It allows for so much different gameplay style, I'd say. She definitely is an initiator that is scary to go against when there is a good Reyna. But again, she's circumstantial to use, because if you die, you're fucking useless. Her ult, the Empress, the combat stim, and being able to heal without pressing it is fucking top tier. Out of all the combat stims in this game, hers actually feels like she's fucking going beast mode. It's scary if she's just fragging out and unable to kill. You get her to fucking 1 health and then she just kills 2 people and she's back
Heals
to
all the way
fucking
back up.
full health and shield, which is fucking overpowered. And I'm surprised that she's still so good, as good as she is when she came out. To me, Reyna goes in that fucking S tier.
I would agree with that assessment as well. I think she is worthy of that S tier. That blind is sublime. And the fact that you can heal and dismiss just lets you get away scot-free so many times, and enjoy watching her clips.
I actually agree with you guys. I think she is definitely one of the characters that, like, even though they nerf, she's pretty much still good. For blind though, I think they had to buff it because it was nerfed a little bit, where like there's a distance block. But the only problem is if she's trying to push the site by herself. Literally, just like one person shoots the eye, the other one just focuses on her, and she's pretty much out, which kind of sucks. Because I feel like if she's gonna shoot her blind, I feel like it would have to be a team push, if anything. Because I don't think I've seen a pro player try to push with Arena by herself yet. Just sometimes it just doesn't work. But her Empress, I definitely don't go up against it. I hear it, I just like, I'm hiding in the corner. Hopefully she just passes by so I can just like get a sneak shot on her.
They will cower.
Yep,
Dying to her is definitely one of the worst feelings ever. Because like, you calm to your teammates, oh, I hit her for 90, then you realize she healed for full.
Right.
Yeah.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah, she's definitely the fucking character that adds insult to injury. You know, she's fucking gets you, and then she ends up sucking the soul out of you for full health. So, definitely a fucking Chad.
Yeah, definitely. So I think she's. It's very hard because I feel like she's best here, but at the same time, I want to give her an A as well because I don't feel like a lot of pro players use her that often anymore too.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's definitely a mix. I'll go A+ tier.
Okay.
Sage. Sage is the OG. I think y'all would agree that she is the best support healer. I think her wall is an ability that really fucking makes or breaks the game. If a Sage knows their wall placements or can do like a basic wall that blocks off enemies from getting to a spike or going through a door or just giving time for team rotation, I think is really important. Also, she's able to stand and get her team up on the walls as well, which allows for some fucking nasty clips or just gross utility in general. Definitely brings her into an angle that people aren't familiar with. I've seen clips of her using her wall from almost at spawn to get fucking cheeky kills. Yeah, I think her wall is some ability that would be up there with a lot of different top tier abilities. After gassing her up like that, her slow orb, I think, is one of the fucking most useless pieces of shit utilities in the game. It's god awful. You literally just throw it out, hoping that you slow enemies and you get a sound cue from it. I don't think it really stops anybody from moving ever. I think they just wait a few seconds out and go right back in. I don't think it's enough time to actually make a difference ever. Yeah, not a fan of the slow orb. Her healing orb, best fucking heal. You know, the fact that it recharges and can be sent onto other players is great. Along with her revive, I think her revive's great. Being able to just get another fucking body on the map without like actually rezzing them in front of a fucking enemy is fucking, I mean, it just changes the game. I think Sage is a must-have on every fucking pro team. And that's why she's going on A tier next to Killjoy. She's great at what she does. I wish she didn't have her fucking slow orb.
I think playing against a good Sage is definitely one of the most frustrating things in the game. That wall, if she can place it at a good time, can completely stop a push. The heals are clutch and the reses, but more often than not, the Sage on my team is shit. I never get healed. I never get rezzed. If I do get rezzed, I get baited.
Yeah.
I would have to put her in B tier.
Damn. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, it's really hard because I feel like, yes, the res can be good, also it can also be bad at the same time, because you could res someone thinking it's safe, and all of a sudden they were just waiting for you to res. Because the moment, like, Valorant, you can tell when people have their ults. And so pretty much like you down someone, or the Sage goes down too, which most of her utilities are waste at that point. I think it depends on what map she's playing on too, because she definitely has some spots where it's like her wall's gonna come in clutch if they hard push. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of the newer maps, there's ways to go around her wall to prevent her from slow pushing.
Where did you put her?
B tier.
B tier.
D?
No, B.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Sky, the other healer.
Bro, annoying as fuck. D tier.
Damn. Alright, on to the next one.
Dude, I like playing Sky. I like throwing a whole Dude, I like throwing a whole... Yeah, a whole fucking zoo at somebody. Here, have a bird. Here, have a bird. Here, have a dog now. Here, have a freaking bird again.
Alright, let's go through her abilities. Healing Trinket. I think it's a good heal. The fact that she can't heal herself doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why Riot does the things that they do, but I'm not alone in thinking Riot needs professional help. And then her Tasmanian Tiger, which I always thought was a fucking dog until now. I think is one of the better
Heal up, squad.
like send outs. Just being able to actually control your thing, and then if it does land, I think it's a good blast of damage and concussive. But again, I think it's all circumstantial. And then her blind is actually one of the better ones to control. If this fucking hawk hits you from far away, you're done playing for at least fucking 5 seconds. And I've been blinded by her fucking bird more times than I could fucking count. I hate going up against skies. I also can't say I enjoy her. The ult that she has is pretty good in the sense that it shows you where the team is, the enemy team is. You can follow those little sperm trails and find out where the egg's going to be implanted, but the fact that you can shoot it just kind of makes it useless in a sense. If it were up to me, I would definitely put her on D tier, but the fact that I've seen her frag out is astounding to me, honestly. I'm going to put her in B tier just because she's another support. Again, I would rather a Sage on my team any day of the week. I think she's got a skill gap that's pretty high with those blinds. But yeah, being able to heal your team just by standing next to them is pretty good, but I don't think it's better than Sage's heal. So she gets a B.
I think Skye is a really well-rounded character. The heals are great. Her ability to get info is amazing because you can dog around a corner. The dog can also stun. Her flash lets you know when someone's flashed, which is busted. And then her ult tells you exactly where someone is. So she's basically playing like 2-3 roles at once. I definitely think you gotta have a pretty good understanding of the game and tactics to play her well. So that's why like a lot of pro teams would run her. I would have to put her in high A tier for me.
I know I was joking about the D tier. She is literally an A tier. Like I said, fun to play with, fun to mess with people. Pulling out the zoo on someone, it's the best feeling you're ever gonna get. I'm not gonna lie. Her heals is not as overpowered as Sage's because it's limited range, but she can heal multiple people at the same time, which Sage cannot. But Sage can heal from a pretty good distance as long as she has clear sight on you. So I think Skye is definitely a good A tier character. Also, I feel like her ult is the best way to find people. Cause it's if it's like you kill 2 people, she has ult, she just needs to send that out. You know exactly where the other 3 are.
I think if you combo her abilities, it works even better because the ult will tell you where they are, and you just throw a flash there and let your teammates push, or you push yourself, and it's an easy kill.
Or ult and then dog. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sova. So Sova was another character that I enjoyed playing early. His owl, super simple to use, good for checking corners, good for checking sight, good for basically just getting recon. And honestly, I would say that he is above Skye's Tiger, just because he's got range.
Take flight.
and can actually fly over shit. I think
No.
I think Sky's dog is just actual dog. Compared to this, and being able to dart somebody and still have recon on them is slept on itself. Going on to his shock bolt. I think the shock bolt's pretty simple to use, pretty easy to use. I think it's also another skill gap that people have with the bounces. I myself am still learning how to fucking use the bounces. His arrow recon I think is really good
Revealing area.
to just find out where enemy players are, or clear sights, or basically just find where you're gonna end up shooting. And the fact that it recharges pretty fast allows for different kinds of gameplay or play styles. And then his ult is, I think, top tier. Honestly, being able to shoot people from across the map and know where they're at almost guarantees a kill. I think they did nerf the damage that it does, so it's a lot harder to kill people now. And any good player can dodge those fucking attacks. But a good Soba on your team, I think, good util, good shit will happen with a good Soba on your team. For me, he is... Oh, we don't have a Soba picture. The motherfucker forgot him. I would say that he is in high B tier, next to Breach and Chamber.
I would put him probably B tier as well. I think his utility is really nice. He's definitely one of like the most OG characters, and people started doing lineups with him probably since the start of the game. I think a good Sova has an insane understanding of like timing and rotations, so they can get you with that ult. For some reason, they just know exactly where you are. I can't tell you how many times I've been hit by his shock darts, even though I'm like walking silently. The Sova somehow knows exactly where I am. I think a good Sova is definitely underrated, but personally, I think he's B.
Cam, you're fucking killing me with the silent comms for...
He's absorbing the info.
I am. I'm actually listening. Because, do you guys watch Average Jonas?
Not really, but I know who he is.
I don't know who he is.
He is the Sova master. He knows all the lineups, all the trick shots. He pretty much won a 1v5 by not letting them defuse the spike with his lineups. I feel like he's a skill-based character. Like starting out not knowing how to use him, his recon's pretty good, Alvo's pretty good, recon bolt. If you know exactly how to line it up, it can be very good too. Not only that, but his ult too. If you hit two people, it's pretty hard to escape. But I'm gonna go with A tier for Sova, just because I don't know how to use him. Doesn't mean shouldn't be recognized as a good character.
Well said, well said. That leaves
also, who
us...
do you guys use for your Sova?
Oh, I already have everybody on the board except for two, so...
Oh, why is there no Sova on the thing then?
I don't know, they forgot about him, they slept on him. They disrespected demands. So... Viper. I think Viper is another OG think she's gotten a bit of a rework, if I'm familiar. Her canister's super easy to use, does a bit of damage, allows for people to be trapped in areas or not push areas, and they'll think again about defusing Spike if she's around. I think her poison cloud is decent. It's like another smoke that can be placed over and over again.
Poison's off.
One of the things that I'd say that I kind of dislike about her is she really got to be conscious of how long her fucking orb is going to be up or her wall is going to be up. It's also something you have to know lineups for, and fortunately they let you see on the map where your shit's going to be. On top of that, her ult, really good for clearing sites and keeping them off site. I always think twice before going through a fucking Viper wall, just because that decay really fucking decays your fucking health really quick. So, I think she's a really high skill gap on her as well. Viper was one of the characters I wanted to be good at, but never ended up being good at. I am going to put her next to Brimstone on A tier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think a good Viper is a scary motherfucker to go up against. I think her utility helps the team. I think she really just initiates well. And if her utilities are used in a manner that affect the enemy team, her DPS is fucking off the charts.
I think she would be an A for me. I just hate the fact that her wall can't pick it up. Once you send it out, it's locked in place. But what really sets her apart from other characters is her ability to decay someone. When you're down to 0 health in her abilities, it's one of the scariest feelings ever. You know, someone could breathe on your toe and you would die. So that makes her really good. But I just hate how locked in she is with her abilities. But still an A tier.
So for me, I think Viper is definitely one of the best characters as far as controller wise. She's a Sentinel, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Definitely one of the top pro player picks. I feel like the way she can hold down a site by herself with an ult, it's just like she can hide in the corner. Everybody's like 1 health, and she just taps everybody. Of course, how Valorant is you can one tap somebody, and you can also get one tap yourself. She definitely prevents people from hard pushing, especially with her all utils, and the fact that she pretty much, if you can line up her shots, she can prevent you from defeating Spike too. So I agree with Kedrick. She's definitely an A tier for me.
Last but not least, Yoru. So, sending out his fake out. I remember when Yoru didn't have a fucking character that ran. It was just footsteps. And I gotta tell you,
That was us.
having the footsteps was so bad. any fucking like character that wasn't, or player that wasn't brain dead would know that those steps aren't real. Now that he can send out a decoy like that and it looks exactly like him, again, I think it's another skill gap thing. People that shoot at Yorus and end up blinding are they always end up being on my team and blinding me. So thanks for that, Yoru.
You're welcome.
I think that his blind is pretty slept on. I think it's one of the easier blinds to use and also avoid getting blinded from. The fact that it bounces too is, I think it just gives it that extra distance, and again makes it easier to blind. I think his blind would probably be second next to Geckos and Arenas, or so I guess third. And then his teleport, I think,
Time to jump.
is another slept on ability.
Fake teleport.
He kind of is heavily reliant on sound cues and faking, I guess.
Cutting through.
But the fact that he can send out a teleport that sends him pretty far makes him like one of the top tier mobility characters as well. It's just a huge skill gap I see with him. I think that Yoru's a character that a lot of people want to be good at, but end up not being good at, and they always end up on my team. So I have a love and hate relationship with Yoru. His ult is an interesting one, being able to be invisible but show yourself when people are next to you. Kind of gives a paranoia feeling to him.
I'm back.
I think he makes for good rotations as well as recon if you have comms, which a lot of people don't. I think he's got a lot of potential for clips. I think a lot of people think he's god tier when he kind of isn't. It's all circumstantial. I don't think he's really beneficial to have on the team. I don't know whether or not he's an initiator or anything, or I know he's not a controller, but I'm gonna have to put him.
I think he's a duelist.
Oh, well, in that case, yeah, I stand by it. He is on C tier for me.
I agree with a lot of what you said. I think a lot of people wanted to be good with him, but he requires pretty good understanding of the game to be good at. His clips are awesome, but I feel like most of it is just shitting on bad players. A lot of good players aren't going to get got by his abilities. I think he's a very interesting character with his abilities, like that teleport and his ult is honestly so unique. But in game, it's just really difficult to pull off, and there's a reason why he has the lowest pick rate and barely anyone plays him in pro tourneys. So I think he's gonna be my first and only D tier.
Damn, all the way down to D.
Yeah.
He is going to be a D tier for me, but the one thing I'm going to disagree on is I really enjoy shooting the fake outs when you guys get blinded.
This motherfucker.
He enjoys trolling.
I'm gonna be honest, I like shooting it as well. Not to blind you, it's just so I don't get got by him. You know, sometimes he'll fake that ability and it'll actually be him. I would rather shoot him, take the blind, and actually have him be there.
That's true.
Yeah. I should start clipping whenever you guys get me killed.
Do it,
That'd
make a
be a
montage.
fucking
I
highlight
get half the
reel.
profits.
Okay. Half of 0 is still 0.
I'll take it.
All right. Well, that concludes the tier list based off of utility. But there's a twist. Who is the sexiest waifu?
In Valo or?
In Valo. I'm going to say it right now. Reyna's other name is Mommy. And she goes in S tier for me.
Oh my god.
Joining her in S tier would have to be Viper. You know I like them fangs. Slippery snake.
Have you seen Viper without the mask?
Have you seen Viper's cosplayers?
I've only seen Valkyrie.
Hence S tier. I do like the goth mommy aesthetic. I'm gonna have to go S tier for Fade.
Damn, he's handing out all the S tiers.
Sage. I do like her aesthetic. I don't think she got that tight fitting, like, you know, outfit like the other girls, but she's gonna go in A tier for me. Neon, the blue hair and electricity, kind of different, you know, kind of
Hey,
quirky.
Hold up, Neon's a boy.
No way.
Huh?
I'm just joking.
I was gonna put them in S tier if you said it was a boy. Anyway, I'm gonna put her in A tier. Moving on to Jet. I think the hair's cool. I think the outfit's tight. She does seem kind of tomboyish to me. But she's kind of quirky, so I'm gonna give her an A. Killjoy. I like her whole get-up, cosplaying of her, super easy and super good. I'm gonna give her a B. Raze, you know that's my girl. She a baddie. She built different. Honestly, I think if Raze was real and she wanted to hook up with me, I think she would fuck me Amazon style. So, definitely S tier. Sky's going in my D and in my manifesto. So, Astra, her haircut could be better. C. Yoru, D. Phoenix, A. Chamber, S. KO, S. Omen, S. Cypher, S. Brimstone, Daddy. Harbor, Daddy.
Yes.
Breach, definitely the 7-Eleven gas station attendant, S. Gecko, I'm pretty sure I could go downtown and I'd find every gecko, C. But yeah, that's my tier list on mommies. Any objections?
Daddies.
Handed out too many S tiers is either waifu or not. But everyone has their own taste.
Yeah. Well,
Hold
I
up,
get
hold
4
up. Maybe
wives.
Kendrick just likes them all.
yeah.
Maybe Kendrick
No.
likes them all.
I get all of them.
I
Didn't you
respect
see that? Didn't you see that clip? It said at least 7 bitches.
Oh my god.